And thanks, James, for your take on the NFC East. I'll be honest, this is my second time recording this, so I decided I was going to tag in one of my brothers who knows the NFC all too well, my buddy Mason, on kind of getting his input on how I saw the NFC as well. So, Mason, we're going to start with the Washington football team. So I have them going 7-9, which that means like they're going 7-10, like I told you before. Um, if the team, went negative, then we were giving them an extra loss. Um, and I mentioned it during my first one. A lot of the NFC teams, they have honestly, I think all of the hardest schedules are in the NFC this year. Like just to kind of
Yeah.
go through a little bit of the Washington one real quick. They got the Bucks, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Packers. So like I have them losing both games against the Cowboys. They're winning both against the Giants, and then they're going to split the games against the Eagles. So do you think the 7-10 for them is like reasonable, or do you think I'm being too hard? How do you think the Washington football team is gonna do this year?
I think you're being a bit too hard on them. I think they have a really good, I wouldn't say good, but pretty average quarterback now that Ryan Fitzmagic is there. They have a pretty solid defense with Chase Young, and I think they might go. I think they're going to take the division at 11-6.
Ooh, 11.
That's what I think.
So I'll wait. I was gonna go through. Actually, I'll do my losses real quick with them. Do you think I'm right that they're gonna lose the Tampa Bay Bucks?
I mean, they showed a pretty good fight in the wild card last year against them, and the Washington's only going to get better with the draft coming up. I don't know where they're picking in the draft or if they're even are in the first round. But the Bucks, I know they're going to start the same 22 as they did last year. So people are going to be able to figure them out because they have to come up with whole new schemes because everyone knows how they play now with the same players. So I think the Washington football team will take that win, in my opinion.
So we're gonna jump right to the Cowgirls or the Cowboys, because I also have them going 7-10. Obviously, with the extra game, we don't know what that game's gonna look like yet. I actually only have them. When I did my first recording, I only really went over their division games, and I quickly touched on a few like marquee games for them. I have the Cowboys actually losing both games against Washington, losing both on the road games against the Giants and the Eagles, but winning both at home. Um, and then losing yet again, Bucks, Chiefs, Chargers are on the Cowboys' plate as well, and then they also have the Cardinals at home. Um, so I have them also going 7-9 or 7-10. What's your view on that? Do you think they're going to sit at 7-10?
I think that that guess is pretty accurate. I don't think they're going to get much better. I mean, it looks like they might draft another offensive weapon, and their defense is just horrible.
Yeah.
They're giving up so many points, but their offense is pretty good. But you need a defense in this league, so I think your 7-10 prediction is pretty accurate.
I mean, yeah, kind of touching on an AFC team real quick, even though me and James did our both takes on that. Justin Herbert is a perfect example on you can have all the offensive weapons in the world, but if your defense can't hold an offense to even a field goal less than what your offense is putting up, that doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
So, well, I have Washington Cowboys. So I have the Giants going. I had them 8-8. So I decided to be nice to the Giants, and give that extra game as a win. Um, so I have them pretty much almost losing all their games on the road. I just don't think Daniel Jones is going to be able I like what me and James talked about during the free agency one. the Giants pretty much sped up. They're figuring out if Daniel Jones is their next quarterback. They can't hand him much more of an offense than what they did this year. But with that being said, they're losing all their games against their division on the road. They're winning at home against the Cowboys, at home against the Eagles, losing to Chase Young and company. I have them. They honestly kind of have a little bit easier schedule. I mean, I know that the Panthers just got Sam Darnold. That doesn't mean anything. So they're winning that one. Denver, they're still confused. They're winning that one. The Falcons, they're winning that one. They also got the Bears. I have them losing games against like the Bucs, the Chargers, and the Chiefs, and the Packers. So I have them, like I said, 8-8, technically 9-8, with whatever the 17th game is. So what's your view on there? If you want to take it as a 9-8, go ahead. On a 9-8, one game above 500.
I put them at 10-7 because the Giants in this year's free agency, they got some pretty good weapons. They got that wide receiver from Detroit. He's really good. I mean, the contract speaks for itself about that all that money. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
And then they got my boy Kyle Rudolph on that offense, and he's great.
Yeah,
and they're going to utilize him. So I think they're just giving Daniel more weapons. So
yeah, like that's kind of my point.
If Daniel fails this year, he's done. There ain't no excuses this year.
So I actually, and I'll even say this: this is the one division in football that I kind of have fun watching, even though I get pissed when it gets down to playoff time, because the team who comes out of here barely has a winning record or shit. What was it, 2 years ago? The team coming out of this had a losing record. But I actually had the Eagles winning this division only by a game.
Really?
Only by a game. Like I had the Giants at 8-8 or 9-8, whatever. I have the Eagles at 10-7. I feel like now they're beginning to kind of realize that Jalen Hurts is their future. Rumor is that they're going to buff that O-line some for Jalen. They did a little during free agency. Not like big all-star names like my Patriots did, like the Chiefs did. But like still, most offensive linemen, if they get a decent contract, they're going to put their head down and they're working. So I have them winning all their games at home against the division. Because it's Jalen Hurts' first year as a starter. He doesn't have to worry about, is Carson Wentz, because you know how Philadelphia pretty much loved to suck Carson Wentz off. Keep giving him back his job. Jalen knows that that's his job to lose. So I can see him winning the Cowboys, Giants, and Washington games. He's not going to be Tom and company, Patrick Mahomes company at home. Surprisingly, I have most of their wins on the road. Because, like I said, the Falcons, or I haven't gotten there yet. The Falcons, I don't have any faith in the Falcons after their 5 chokes last year. So I have the Eagles beating them in whatever the Falcons Stadium's called. I have them beating the Raiders, the Broncos, Lions on the road. Having them at 10-7. The only reason why I have them winning is because their schedule is a little easier. And then I can see them possibly even winning some of these losses that I have. I have them losing to the 49ers and the Saints at home. Just because for both those teams, it's the big question mark of the quarterback for those teams. Because the 49ers have came out and said that the ownership has given them the green light to draft a quarterback at the 3rd overall pick or whatever. Tell they have.
They're at 12 now. They were at 6, and then the Dolphins came up at 6, so now they're at 12.
No, I thought it was the other way around.
They're at 12.
Oh,
I'm positive the Eagles are at 12. I'm pretty sure they'll take a wide receiver because last year with Jalen Reagor. He got injured, but he was looking okay. And the Eagles, I don't think they're really good at drafting wide receivers. I mean, they completely missed out on Justin Jefferson last year. And then the Vikings took him, and then he balled out. But I think
No,
there
you
is
are wrong.
pretty good
You are. Oh, wait, never mind.
I'm
We're
wrong.
talking about we're talking about the 49ers. They have the 3rd overall pick.
Oh, yeah, the 3rd. I thought we were talking about the Eagles.
No. I'm saying that the only reason why I have them currently losing the Saints and 49ers games at home is because we don't know who the quarterback for those two teams are at this point. Even though because the 49ers have been given the green light by the owners to draft a quarterback, even though they keep saying that Jimmy G is their man. It's Jimmy G's job to lose. I see Jimmy G getting released.
I'm pretty sure the 49ers will take a quarterback. I'm pretty sure they'll take Justin Fields from Ohio State.
I think I saw a rumor that they're looking more at Mac Jones, but people are thinking that might be a smoke screen.
Nah, there's no way they'll take Mac Jones at 3. There's no way.
But so what's your view on that 9 and 10 and 7
for the Eagles?
Yeah,
I think they'll be at 8 and 9. That's my guess.
Okay, that would be okay. Okay, yeah. So you technically, as of with the schedule, I saw you had them at 8 and 8, but then you get the pick where that 17th game, so you have them losing their next 3 games. Okay. We're gonna jump to. See, I have to do it in the same order, so we get to do your hot and heavy NFC North next.
Ooh.
So you can't be biased on your Vikings. I will call you out.
I won't. I'll be
quick.
Very honest.
So we're gonna go to the Bears first, just because.
All right.
I'm gonna touch on because I know you don't follow. I know that you're not subbed to the Infamous Thieves YouTube. Oh, Mason. Oh, I didn't show you the shirt before we started.
What you got on there?
I got on the Infamous Thieves shirt. I got them made.
Oh, nice.
So James actually, and the only reason why I say this is because I'm going to start with the team that I pretty much crucified. Going on, James crucified the Giants. I'm pretty sure he either had them going 1-16 or 0-17. So my team.
Which team?
James had the Giants super tanking.
Nah.
But me and James have talked about it in past. If they feel, James could see if they feel that Daniel Jones isn't their future, he was like, I could see them tanking the second half of the season to get a higher pick, to draft a new quarterback. But I have the Bears not tanking on purpose.
Just for the lack of talent.
I have them going 1-16.
That's
pretty low. I only have them beating the Rams on the road. I have
very odd choice.
I'll be honest. The games against the Lions are probably going to be close. Games against the Packers aren't going to be.
No, never.
Against your Vikings at home, I could see that game being close. When they come in to the what's your guys' stadium called?
US Bank Stadium.
Yeah. Them coming into the US Bank Stadium, it's not going to be close. But you guys going to Chicago, I could see, maybe it being close and, they might be able to win that. But yet again, they have a tough schedule. They got, tough for their team. Like if you would hand this schedule to, let's say, I'm trying not to pick like a mega titan, but like, I'll say Seattle. If you hand Seattle the Bears schedule, they could go even, maybe go positive. But for what the Bears have, they also have the 2 games against the Pack. They have a game against the Ravens, game against the Seahawks, game against the Bucks, game against the Steelers, game against the Browns. They're not winning those games.
Mhm.
I did. So yeah, 1-16. I'm assuming you're probably saying about to say, Jesus, Mike, be a little tougher, why don't you?
Yeah.
But I just don't see them winning that many more games.
I would, for my ranking, so 17 games, I would put them at 4 and 13. That would be my prediction. Because you got some pretty good players on the defensive side, and they'll probably win some of those games. But I'd say no more than 4 games.
Like, I
from them.
get where you're coming from. I mean, okay, if I'm looking at this 4 games, because you're saying roughly 4-13, I could see that defense winning them the Rams game, maybe winning the Giants game, the 49ers game, okay, and maybe the Bengals game. So, okay,
Mhm.
I could see them maybe going 4-13.
Yeah.
Now, talking about 4-13, the Detroit Lions at 4-13.
17 games now, so 0-17 has to be the best fit. But
No,
I disagree. That was a joke.
Okay, let's say, see, this is where we're kind of going to be wrong, and you're going to say I'm wrong because I have them beating the Bears both their games.
Yeah.
I have them beating the Falcons. I'm sorry. Any team that has the Falcons on their schedule, I'm just counting it as a win. That was kind of my view against the Falcons this year after last year. And then I have them kind of that toss-up game against the 49ers. The 49ers for me this year, like I said, we don't know the quarterback situation. Yeah, they re-signed a whole bunch of people, and then they gave Trent Williams that, superstar
Giant.
offensive lineman contract, which technically only beats the record by like 4 pennies, I'm pretty sure, or some obnoxious BS like that. Yeah, they had to make sure he had the highest paying contract of all time. But yeah, I have them going 4-13. You think that's reasonable for them? Do you actually have them at like 1-15? Do I have these two people backwards?
I would put them at I'd put them at 6-11.
Wow, see, you're actually being nice.
Yeah.
See, it just goes. See, I just feel like that the Lions team. There was a few teams that me and James talked about during the free agency one on teams who just haven't hit the panic button yet or the rebuild button. Like they're like tiptoeing the line, like trying to like manage not a full rebuild, but they should dedicate it to it. The Lions are one of those teams for me. I think that they're trying to kind of like skate by, and I feel like it's going to start biting them in the butt. Sooner or later, they're going to have to hit that rebuild button.
Yeah, with Jared Goff there, I think they'll do okay, but the Lions won't be above average this year.
Oh no, like literally during my first
with
take,
all those picks the Rams handed them, I think they'll be good in the future. But this year, I don't think it's their year.
Yeah, during my first take on this, I literally said that Goff is just their gateway quarterback to get them to their next team, even though it's never going to be anything good because they don't do anything good. So we're going to go to your Vikings. Where I'm just going to rip off the Band-Aid. I have them going 10-6. So 11-6.
There you go.
And then I'll even, before I even talk about their games, or even the Packers, I even said during my first take on this, I could see the Packers or the Vikings, both of their records going to either team. I just have, part of it was I have a little more faith in Aaron Rodgers, hence why I gave the Vikings the 11-6. I have you guys winning all your games against the NFC North at home. I have you guys walking into Chicago, walking into Detroit winning both of those. I feel like
Yep.
going to Green Bay, I don't think you win that game. I don't see you guys going into Arizona and winning that game. The Ravens, the 49ers, I actually have you losing both of those. More the Ravens one, I could see you losing more so than the 49ers one. At home, depending on when that Browns game is, I could see another dark horse run of a Baker Mayfield like last year. He caught fire the last like 4 or 5 weeks of the season, hence why they even made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then I have you guys losing to Pittsburgh too. So I have you guys at like 11-6. What do you think of your 11-6? You don't seem too happy on your 11-6.
I'd say 12-5.
Like I said,
But I think, last year the Vikings defense was like top 5 worst in the league. They were horrible.
yeah, but you guys did
Absolutely trash. We lost so many key players on defense. We lost at least 5 starters, but we signed a buttload of cornerbacks. We got our defensive end back. We got Danielle Hunter back. We got Michael Pierce that is back. And most likely we're going to be drafting a defensive end this year in the draft. So the Purple People Eaters will be back next year. I'm betting on it.
You hope.
I hope they get a defensive end. Because we're fine on corners right now. We signed Patrick Peterson. We signed Xavier Woods from the Cowboys. The Vikings just lost Jeff Gladney. I don't see him coming back in the NFL at all.
But I lost Fields too. I don't remember who it was, but you lost him Fields too. It was another defensive person. I think it was just a cap space casualty. It wasn't like you guys didn't want to keep him, but like contract wise, it was just not going to work. But going to the Packers, like I said, I could see them and the Vikings kind of like flip them flop. I have them going 12-5, and that's with adding the last game. I have them going 12-5.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That sounds.
I think the Cardinals are going to be a force at home. So that's one of their losses. And then obviously I had you guys beating them in Minneapolis, so that's another loss. And walking into the Ravens' home, Lamar Jackson's just a different monster at home. And they did add Sammy Watkins on the outside as a wide receiver threat. I have them losing to Seattle because it seems like that game's always tough on Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why. And then losing to Pittsburgh as well. So 12-5 for them. You said you kind of agree. So we'll go to the South. Yeah. So we're gonna start. Actually, I am gonna do what I did during my first take on this. We're gonna start them from the bottom and go down. So we're gonna start with the reigning Super Bowl champs. I have them going 14-3.
Sounds good.
Losing to the Bills at home, depending when that game is. And my going joke for this was, if it's a late season game, an AFC East team is going to go in and crush Tom's hopes and dreams going into the playoffs. Because, that's always a Tom thing. He always loses to an AFC East team during the end of the season. And then losing to the Saints in the Superdome, and then losing to the Eagles in Philly. Like I said, Jalen Hurts, I feel like being at home, it's going to help him a lot this year. So you think my 14-3 is valid?
I think that's valid. I think that's pretty accurate.
Okay, so jumping to the Saints next.
I'll let you go first on this one.
What?
I want to go first.
Okay.
So I think now for their quarterback situation, I doubt they'll draft. I don't think they'll draft.
No.
But it's either gonna be Jameis or Taysom. And Sean, coach, said that it's gonna be most likely it's gonna be Taysom Hill's turn to start. And I doubt that'll last long. I don't think Taysom Hill is a good
Whoa.
quarterback.
Whoa.
Hear me out.
Whoa.
I think Jameis will take over after a few games with Taysom Hill. And I think Jameis will turn the team around. And I think they'll get to at least 9 and well, what's that? 9 and 8. I think they'll get to 9 and 8. It's my harsh take, but that's what I think.
So the only reason why I'm so hard on Taysom Hill is because he's the reason why I got into my playoffs fantasy football. Because he was in as my tight end when he was playing quarterback.
Yeah.
So I had 2 quarterbacks going. So I actually have them going 10 and 6. So 11 and 6. Losing to the Pack at home, I feel even though they have the Bucks at home, the Bills at home, obviously the Packers, I said I have them losing against Packers, but the Titans that they have at home, Sean Payton's there's just something. I feel like Alvin Kamara is about to catch fire this year like he always does, but I don't think it's going to take as long as normal. I feel like Alvin Kamara is about to show the Yeti season what it means to be a real man with his nose ring. If you didn't know, Alvin Kamara has a nose ring.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. He looked up like a bull.
But yeah, no. But I have them losing to the Panthers on the road. Losing to the Bucks on the road, Eagles on the road, the Washington football team on the road, and Seattle on the road. Beating my Patriots, the Jets, yada, yada, yada. As you can tell, I jumped over Patriots there. So I'm going to just kind of combine these next 2 teams. I have both the Falcons, and then you can give me your take on each of them separately if you want. I have them both going 5 and 12. The Falcons, like I said, I have no faith in Atlanta at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I have faith that they can take 1 game off the Panthers. They can beat my Patriots, beat my Jets, beat the Jets, beat the Lions. They're losing every game on the road this year. They're not winning a game on the road. Quickly over the Panthers. Taking the Falcons and Saints games at home. Taking the Jets game at home. Taking the Giants game on the road. Cowboys on the road, but everything else is going to be a loss. And they're not going to be close losses. Because they honestly, I think the Panthers have the toughest schedule in the NFL this year. You take out my Patriots, you take out the Jets, and here is their schedule. Yes, I'm not that confident in my New England Patriots this year, but they have the Bucks twice. They have the Saints twice, so those are just givens. They have Washington, the Eagles, the Vikings, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Cardinals. They're pretty much going through a gauntlet the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
So I have both of them going like 5 and 12. What's your take on those 2 teams?
I think you're right about the Falcons. I don't think they got much going for them. That defense is only a first half defense. After the second half, they're done. They're all tired. They're terrible at their stamina. For the Panthers, I would say they'll do a bit better than the Falcons now that they have Sam Darnold. They have a pretty good quarterback. Sam Darnold was just in the wrong location. I don't care what you say. I think Sam Darnold's a really good quarterback. I just think someone needs to give him a chance. And the Panthers, they have pretty good weapons for him there. So I think the Panthers got Christian McCaffrey, and I don't know anyone else.
Yeah,
but Christian McCaffrey carry that whole entire team. So I don't care what you say.
He didn't carry shit last year.
Yeah, I had him in my fantasy and he got hurt so fast. I was so bummed out.
I don't want to hear it. I had the number 1 pick for the first time in my life. I went with CMC and he was out week 2.
I'm with you on that one.
I was hurt. So going to the last division, because I know you want to go hang out with your homies yet again. Thank you for coming in on my Audible. I love you, bro. I'm gonna have you on board podcast. So, you want to start them from the bottom of the top?
I want to start with the Rams. That's the team I'm most excited to watch this year.
All right, because you said that. Wait, are they? They're the Los Angeles Rams, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, I'm getting my phone's getting blown up. Give me a second.
5-12.
Hold on.
God damn it, people! You can't wait fucking 5 minutes. We're almost done. Jeez.
Yeah.
I honestly only have them winning games against the Cupcakes this year.
The Rams?
Yeah, I put the 49ers in at home as a cupcake because it's at home. But they're beating the Bears, they're beating the Lions, they're beating the Texans, they're beating the Colts. Everything else, I feel like they're going to get like curb stomped. Like, because they have the Bucks, they have the Titans, they have the Packers, they have the Cardinals, just to name a few. Obviously, they have the Cardinals twice. So where do you see the Rams going? I have them at 5-12.
I'm gonna say the opposite. I'm gonna say 12-5. I think they're taking the division, to be honest. They got Matthew Stafford, and last year their problem was Jared Goff. He couldn't ball out when he needed to, and they still did pretty good last year. And Matthew Stafford, I would say, is a younger version of Patrick Mahomes, like a less experienced of Patrick Mahomes. I know, throw that all away. But Matthew Stafford makes throws Patrick Mahomes makes, but since he's in Detroit, no one talks about it.
All right, so you're wrong.
So I think they'll go 12-5 and take the division. That's my take.
You're wrong. So 49ers, I have them going 8-8. I gave them the extra win. I have them going 9-8. They're going 3-3 on their division games. And then losing games against the Titans, against you guys, against the Packers, but winning because they have several easy teams. They have the Lions, they have the Falcons, they have the Bears, the Colts, and Texans. So I could see them going 8-8 or 9-8. What's your take on that, real quick?
Which team again?
49ers.
49ers. I see them winning 8 games. I'm going to say they're going to go 8-9.
God, man, you ain't nice to these teams you have going 8-8, man. You keep giving them the extra L, bro. Jesus.
Yep.
Seattle, I have them going 11-6. See, that's where me and you are going to start being opposites. The only game they're losing at home this year is against the Titans. Because I feel like that's going to be a late game, like late in the season, and you know what happens when it's late in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry turns white and furry. He turns into a Yeti. On the road, I have them losing to your Texans, losing to the Pack, losing to the Cardinals, losing to Washington. Going 11-6. What's your take on that?
I see them going. Oh man, this is difficult because this whole division is stacked. It's insane.
It's not stacked. You're smoking.
I think it's stacked. I think it's one of the toughest divisions in football.
You're smoking coke.
I'd say they'll go. Oh man, I'd say they'll go 10-7.
I don't know what I just had them going. What the fuck they are to? I am going 11-6. So the right answer for who's going to win the AFC East, I mean the NFC West, the Arizona Cardinals. Because that defense got that bump.
Yep.
Who gives a shit about Patrick Peterson when you have now a 3-headed Titan rushing the quarterback? Because their other defensive linemen coming back off of injury. They re-signed the other one to another deal. So now you have a 3-headed pass rush, and then you have Kyler Murray throwing D-Hop 62 touchdowns this season. Okay, not like 62, like 20 touchdowns. But still, that offense is going to click like always. They got rid of the cancers of running backs last year. They're about to start rolling. I have them going 14-3. I don't care what you say, Mason. You're wrong. The Rams are not winning this division. I'll put money on it. And you work now, so we can put money on this. I have them losing to the Titans on the road, losing to Seattle on the road, losing to the Packers at 14-3.
Oh boy.
Yeah, see, you forgot about Arizona in this division, didn't you?
No, I remembered Arizona,
So
but
you really think the Rams are going to take this division?
I do.
Kyler Murray.
I do. I think Matthew Stafford was a great upgrade. I'd say they'll go. This sounds like an insult, but I think they'll only go 10-7.
It's still playoffs. So
Still chasing. The whole division can make the playoffs. It's possible.
no,
So
no.
yes.
But yet again, Mason, I'm gonna have you on one that's not like I texted you 10 minutes ago. And be like, yo, you can get on a podcast. I'll schedule one with you. I might even talk to James maybe on like one of his days off and one of my days off, because I am gonna get the medium package for Zoom, so we don't have a time limit on group calls. I can do unlimited times one-on-ones. For groups, right now, because I have the basic, it's only a 40-minute. We might have you back on after the draft. I think that's when the next Sports Essence podcast is going to be. We're going to do like a rough power rankings. Like if the teams kind of filled some voids that they needed, if it bumped them up. I'll send you the link so you can actually see the schedule. Well, not like obviously not the exact schedule, but what we used for this one, so you can kind of factor that into your picking too. Because I'm not gonna lie, it took me and James clicking like 14 different links to find the one that we found. So it was in the ass. So thanks again, Mason. And thank you guys for tuning in to the NFC take, which was supposed to be just me, but technical difficulties, which that means I got to see my buddy Mason for the first time in a while. So it all worked out. Until next time.